Right, we're in the Meander River today, this morning. It's a pretty late start, just on 10:30. Water's running at 75 centimetres, which is probably about 10 to 15 centimetres high and I'd like. But it's still good flow, it's still wadable in most places, it's pretty safe to fish. Good thing is, if you know the rivers, you know where it's safe and where it's not safe to fish, so that's the main thing. But I don't know whether we'll get anything here today. I'll do a water temp shortly and see what it is, but they've got a fair bit of water coming out of Huntsman Dam, and that's always very cold water. It's not over warm coming, I can feel the cold through my waders actually. So there's the water temp, hopefully you can see it. But it's pretty low. It's a nice wide stretch here, and it's really deep along that rock wall there. That was built there to stop it taking out that corner there and going through the farmland, but it's a nice deep run along there. It's perfect bit of water for casting up and drifting the lure back with it. So hopefully there's a trout in there. I think the water temp's only about 3 degrees anyway at the moment, so we'll see how we go. We've done all up through there, there's no sign of a trout. I have to cross over here. Excuse me. It's probably around about waist deep just out there, and it shallows off the other side. And yeah, I'll work my way up through this long stretch of water. It's a nice waterhead here, so hopefully we don't go home with a donut from the Meander today. Talking to a woman up the shop, and she said a chappie here spent 5.5 hours here the other day, and he got one trout, just a nice pan-sized fish, and that was it. So it was the only fish he'd seen for the day. So if I can get one, I'll be in. I won't be in for 5.5 hours though chasing it, that's for sure. But I'll catch one, I'll be happy. So far I've fished that whole riverbank on the opposite side there. I've been working from one side and casting right up to that riverbank, and just bringing the lure back down and casting drifting, and not even a follow yet. So we've got probably 1 kilometre of river left to fish. I better get something soon, so I'm getting a bit ticked off. But, I don't mind not catching trout, but when you're in these rivers like this, it's supposed to be pristine trout waters and all this sort of thing that they rave on about. And they've certainly gone downhill in my book. It's been a lot harder the last few years. Trout fishing's got harder and harder in these rivers. I could come up here before in this stretch of water this time of year and have had 6 trout by now. Now you're battling to even see a trout. And yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Inland fisheries don't believe in restocking rivers, they believe in self-recruitment. But with the amount of cormorants that's in these rivers across Tassie, they're taking out more than what's living. They just clean the rivers out, and something's got to be done about it. Right, still nothing, so we're into the next big wide stretch of water now, river. It's a beautiful stretch of water here, and I notice there's not a trout near. I doubt there'll be a trout any further up anyway. Don't catch nothing here, we're really in trouble. Finally, it's trout on. A solid fish too. I'm trying to get him around. I don't know how well hooked he is. Just in the jaw. You could toss it at any time. But, I thought if I don't get one in this stretch of water here, I'll never get one. He's a nice fish. Just on a 400 grammer. There's no red spots on this bugger, are there? And, he's pretty well hooked in the jaw there, so we'll get him off and let him go, and that was, I lured him off that riverbank. I've always caught a trout along this stretch of wood on that right hand side, and I was nearly gonna, I was getting out just up the top end of this pool with that fast water, that headwater tail end of that run is up there, and calling it a day and heading off to Western Creek, but I'll just push on to the top of that fast water now, the headwater, and see how we go. Alright, let him go. Let down, tip him upside down, and he's on his way. Beautiful. The donut has been broken. If anyone hasn't seen how a blade spinner works in the water, well, that's it. That's facing upstream, but that gives you an idea of the action that comes from them. Because when you're retrieving downstream, because you've got to keep the lure to the same flow or a fraction faster than the flow of the water to keep that blade spinning. And then when you do that, if a trout comes up behind you, just give that little twitch. You see that blade flutter, and as it drops, 9 times out of 10, the trout will snap it up. And that's Aglia Furia, that one that we got on there. I just missed my second trout in here. He followed me all the way up here, bump, 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 tap, 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 and all the way up to here, then turned and darted off. So, yeah, he didn't quite take the spinner full on. It's the trouble when you bring it straight downstream towards you. I prefer going across in the drift with it, and they can grab it side on. Anyway, we're going to cross over here, get out, and probably head back to Western Creek and have a fish there on the way home. It hasn't been a long session really. It's only 10 to 12 now. I was in the river at like 10:30, just on 10:30 I think it was. So yeah, but I'll probably may spend an hour or so in Western Creek and they'll call it a day. I called into Western Creek to have a fish there on the way home after I left Meander. Some idiot had parked the ute right in the roadway where you can get into it, so there's no room to park anywhere, so I headed off home. I'm at the Meander River now, on the way home, just on the Bridle Track Road, and as you can see there's a lot of water pumping down here, and this is where I normally cross over, and it's, yeah, she's pushing too hard on the legs and those rocks roll under your feet, so it's just not worth taking a risk. So there's a little river just up a bit, probably 100 yards ahead of me, that runs into it. I'm going to go and hop in that and have a little fish on my way back to the car before I call it a day. And that's the main river there, the Meander River, and this is where the Dasher River, the little Dasher River runs into it here. I'm going to fish my way up through here to the main road where I parked the car and see how we go. Sometimes you get the odd little trout up in here. They come up from the main river. You know, we'll just see how we go. Right, I'm in this little river here now that runs in the Mersey, and I'm just using a little yam-aim or whatever they call them, little hard body. I just had a flick into that near that riverbank over there and had an instant hit, and yeah, I missed hooking him. So that was a good sign. I had a follow on the Aglia Furia down a bit further, but they wouldn't touch it, just sat back off it. And there's a little trout heading, going along right in front of me there now, just cruising through. Any little bugger, just sitting there. Little tacker. I was just about to call it a day in this little river, and I had a cast up there. Got a little gold Aglia on, a beat up old Aglia, little 1.5 grammer, and a beautiful fish. He's bigger than the one I caught in the Meander, and he's only just got in that jaw. Look at that, beautiful. Lovely. Now, he's pretty well hooked this one, so we'll get him off and let him go. Put him back in for another day. Oh, I'm going to let him go, he's on his way. Up, and he's off. I've got to go anyway, because I've got to Gotta have a little dog at the vet's at 3:30 and it's 1:45 now, I think. Yeah, 1:45, so I have time to get out of here. I'd love to fish this all the way back to the car actually. Would have picked up a few, I reckon. Just gotta still make my way back to the car, but I just had to try this bit of water. Another flat water up ahead. I just get one crack at that too. And yeah, I just flicked in there. This little fella had 3 shots at it. He's a little bubba, that one. So we'll release him and send him on his way. Right. I'm just going to fish this last stretch of water. The car's just up there to the right of where the bridge is there. And it's 1:55 now, so I'm only 10 minutes from home anyway, 10-15 minutes from home. So I've got plenty of time to get the dog to the vet by 3:30. So we'll fish this pool, then we'll go home. Well, that's that day done. It's nearly 2:10. Caught 3 trout from 4 hookups in the dasher on the way home. One decent one in the Meander went for 410 grams. The one here went 415. So yeah, good day all up. So till next time guys, tight line.